to another episode of Millionaires Are Made, the show where we believe that you can be a millionaire in all 6 aspects of health: physical, mental, intellectual, social, spiritual, and financial. Today, we are focusing on your intellectual health and specifically creativity. So we've got 3 awesome guests from all walks of life. They're going to help us give little tips on how to be more creative and improve our intellectual health. If you haven't been with us on Millionaires Are Made, this show is built on the fundamental belief that every person you meet knows something you don't, and there's something to be learned from everyone. So, without further ado, in the spirit of authenticity and removing bias, I don't even know who our guests are until about 10-15 minutes before the show, and we just briefly go over how the show is going to work so that their tips and our tips don't get intertwined. So you'll be reading or learning and listening from 3 awesome people from their experiences. So hopefully one of those 4 people will give you something to grow on, and we can all improve our lives. Audience, you have some work to do. I'm sorry, but we need you to comment and ask questions. We love it. It helps the show a lot. Ask questions when we're talking. I will repeat them out loud. Whatever medium you're watching us on, we'll go ahead and answer those questions for you live on air. We'd love to hear from you. Also, if you love what we do, please like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever it is, whatever medium you're watching us on, please help us out. We'd love all that engagement and love to help us keep going and keep going. On that note, we also need more guests. We love having new, fresh guests. So if you have not been on our show and would like to be a guest, please sign up, leave a comment, send us a DM, get to us however you want. www.millionairesaremade.com. We'd love to have you on air. If you have topic ideas, something you're struggling with, something you're not sure about, something you want a little more advice, we take those too. We'd love to have your topic come in. We'll find 3 guests for it, and we'll put your topic on air and answer some questions for you, hopefully. Next up, oh man, it's sponsor time. So our first sponsor here is our famous InstaFarm. At home grow, eat your microgreens, healthy as fuck. You literally do nothing. I literally just put the tray on. It auto waters, uses AI. The soil's developed so it grows within 7 days and you're harvesting. It's pretty fucking amazing. Next sponsor is going to be our favorite, one of the best podcasts, maybe not the most lighthearted, but it's our Grief. Tell Me About It by Tony Lynch. If you are a big fan of, if you're going through something and you need some help, let's put it that way. Tony's been there. He's done that, and he's got the same mission as Millionaires Are Made. He's helping people grow, push, and move through tough times. So please check it out. Go subscribe to him on YouTube. Check out Grief, Let's Talk About It by Tony Lynch. Amazing podcast, amazing guy. Go get involved with him. He is awesome. Next up, if you love any of our guests, please ask us. We will be posting their socials. We love taking care of our guests too. And if you want them to keep coming back and sharing all their knowledge, go subscribe, like, DM, ask them questions. They love to answer things as well. A lot of us are coaches. I know that we have offers as well. So you can ask them, hey, I saw you on Millionaires Are Made. Tell me what you do and how to take advantage of that. I know I offer free coaching for everyone. So if you guys are interested in a coaching session, I do them for free because I love giving back and teaching. So not only do I have this show, but I also do free coaching sessions if you're interested in that. And I know a lot of our guests will be interested in that too. Oh, man. All right. All that bullshit is done. Let's get into it. We are doing creativity, intellectual health, and there's a funny little story I have about that. I think I was probably 12 years old. Actually, if I do the math, it was probably 12 to 13 years old. And I read in an article, I don't know where, it was some magazine my parents had in the house, and it had titled, From Chaos Stems Creativity. And it hit me. I cut it out. It's probably the first article I've ever cut out and put on my wall. And I did it maybe a little bit out of spite. I think I was trying to argue with my mom that I didn't need to clean my room. I was saying, no, it's dirty for a reason. It's dirty for a reason. I'm stemming creativity. But it stuck with me. In my offices throughout the years, I've had it posted. And it's true. From chaos stems creativity. So I'm not saying don't ever clean. But I am saying that it might help to have a little bit of mess in your life and a little bit of chaos help stem that creative. Think of some of the best artists in the world. They were very straight edge or clean. They had some chaos in their lives. So if you are looking to get a little creative, maybe do some things a little different, get out of your routine and see if something hits you and sparks you there. That's my tip for you for creativity. Next up, we're going to bring out an awesome guest. His name is Jesse. Jesse, how you doing today?
I'm fantastic. It's 28 below here and snowing like a son of a goose. So it's wonderful.
Oh, man, I love it. And right now we're posting links to articles that I went and researched that I use for creativity stemming from chaos. So if you don't believe me, it's fucking scientifically proven. Jesse, on to you. Who are you? Who are you?
So my whole job is creativity. I do stage hypnosis across Western Canada, and I get to watch people create things out of their minds instantly in front of me 100 times a year. It's flipping wonderful. But yeah, let's go from there.
All right. Your entire job's creativity, and people, hey, look, it's a little chaos. You get hypnotized, you get a little chaos, and fucking wild shit happens. All right, Jesse, let's go straight into it. If I wanted to improve my intellectual health with creativity, what tip would you give me?
So we're going to get to the tip, but I want to tell a story first. Actually, I want you to take your hand and reach it out like that.
Okay. All right.
Now I want you to go back.
This question again. I'm going to ask.
That's okay. Now I want you to reach back and touch your butt with it.
Reach this hand back and touch my butt.
And touch your butt.
Nice.
Now pat around.
Ooh. All right. Yeah. Do
you feel a stick up your ass? Because that's the number one thing that destroys creativity is having a stick up your ass. We all get so focused on everybody else's cares. We get so worried that somebody's going to think badly of me or this isn't the right thing to do. Well, that stifles creativity like you wouldn't believe. And my number one tip is to reach back, literally if you need to, and pull the stick out of your ass.
All right. So if I were to ask you how to improve your intellectual health with creativity, you would say,
pull the stick out of your ass.
Pull the stick out of your ass.
And here's why. If you're always worried about everybody else's opinions, everybody else's thoughts and societal norms and all the rest of it, that just destroys creativity. If you're look at Picasso, for instance, he was a weirdo by all accounts, but he was one of the most creative painters there was because he said, screw societal norms, and he just did what he did. You look at people on stage, when they come to my show, they are doing things on stage that are out of societal norms because they can blame me for it. So they just pull the stick out and then they blame the hypnotist. It's the hypnotist.
Pull the stick out and then, yeah. That is so true. I used to get hypnotized a lot. Big fan. And I love, definitely, it's like, it's almost why people drink. You can blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on the alcohol. Same thing. You take that stick out, get a little creative, and obviously alcohol is probably not the best medium for it, but using a hypnotist could help. I like the scapegoat.
The other thing about it is that if we're not creative, it really stifles us in everything. And creativity is everywhere. It can be as little as doing a stupid little dance at home while you're listening to music, being creative with your movement. It can be creating that music. It could be creating a new dish. It doesn't necessarily have to be some big fancy art thing. And the other thing to recognize is if people are judging you for it, they can go fly a kite. It's your creativity, not theirs. So what do they have to say about it? They have no right to talk about who you are and what you're doing. It's you that is the judgmental person of yourself, not them.
I love it. All right, we got about 45 seconds. I need to tell you, where on your life journey did you learn this tip? How many sticks did you have to get out of your ass before you learned?
I'm still doing it every day. That's the honest truth, is that there is pressure everywhere, peer pressure to act a certain way. So really when it started for me is I was 22 years old. I started performing hypnosis shows and I said, fuck it. I'm not going to follow the same path everybody else does, get in a job. I'm going to start my own business and work on my own stuff.
Nice. Hell yeah. Awesome. And things are going great?
It's been since 2007, so it's been a long time, and it's been good.
When's your next show in the Virgin Islands? We need some hypnotism.
Well, I don't have a visa to get to the States, so it's not going to happen.
Oh, this is the Virgin
So,
Islands. There's no rules.
uh, there's rules, trust me.
Awesome, Jesse. Thank you
Uh,
so much. We're going to move on to our next guest and put you backstage, and we'll bring you out in a couple minutes. Next up,
Skipper?
we have the lovely Christina. Christina, how are you doing today?
I am awesome. It's a beautiful day here. No snow, thank God.
Nice. Where are you at?
Colorado?
Oh, hell yeah. That's where I'm
Yeah.
from. I love. Are you in Denver?
No, I'm in Pueblo.
Oh, okay, cool. A little farther south. Christina, who are you?
Yeah, I'm a life coach for midlife women, which I think is like perfect for this topic because it's just about the time where women start opening up more space in their life and they're like, what do I want to do? Instead of the to-do list that always kept them busy. Kids are moving out. So creativity is definitely something that we talk about a lot.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, I like that. Great timing. Well, if I wanted to improve my intellectual health with creativity, what simple tip would you give me?
Yeah, start without expectation. I really loved what Jesse was just saying about everybody else's expectations and trying to like that external validation. Well, when we go to self-validate, at least for me, it was just as judgmental because I was like, oh, well, I have to, if I'm going to go paint. And I never did that before because I had really terrible art teachers when I was growing up and they were really critical. So it was like in my 40s that I was like, I bought all the paints, I got all the canvas, and I was like, I am going to paint. And I stared at that canvas for like a year. A year, I just stared at that canvas, never opened a paint. And my friend finally comes and she's like, Christina, just put the damn colors on the damn canvas and swish them around. Like that's all you have to do is just start. You don't have to create a work of art your first time. And I think that that also goes along with your tip of being like chaos, right? Like allow it to be chaos at first. And then you can work from there. But first we have to start. And that goes with if you're painting, if you want to write poetry, write a few words every day. Like if you want to be a dancer, have some dance moves in your kitchen, like just start whatever that thing is. And I think that that's really important to creativity and like that first step of letting go of our expectations and judgments on ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's almost how I clean. I like get everything, it's all chaotic and messy as fuck, and then you just kind of start and work your way through, and then you're like, all right, now the house is clean. But I definitely make it messier first and then clean it. Maybe the best way, maybe not. Who knows?
Oh, when we think about like all the artists that were out there, like Michelangelo didn't paint his first painting and be like, oh yeah, Sistine Chapel or whatever.
Absolutely.
He made hundreds and hundreds of sketches of paintings before that in order to get there. And so we can't get there if we don't start.
I mean, speaking of painters that were not famous till after they died, if you want to get some real chaos, you just chop off your ear.
That is one way to get some attention.
All right. What happened on your life journey that gave you that tip? Where'd you learn this advice, Christina?
Yeah, it was really from me just realizing that everything I make doesn't have to be a work of art. It can just be practice or a lesson for the next thing. But it was really that me trying to start painting, and it works with everything. I wanted to go back to poetry. I used to write a lot of poetry when I was in high school and then stopped. And so how do we get back to poetry? We start by writing a haiku every day or something, like it doesn't have to be the Iliad. It could just be a few words and just, breaking open the shell of getting into that creativity. So you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be a poet. You can actually just be creative, make up silly songs, whatever floats your boat.
I love it. That's awesome, Christina. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to move on to our next guest, our final guest for this episode. His name is John. John, who are you?
Absolutely, Austin. My name's John, Sales Warrior Sansoni. I'm calling you here from sunny Dallas, Texas. I've been here professionally selling for 34 years.
What do you sell?
You name it. I've been manufacturing software, professional services. I'm not limited to any particular item. Two, I'm a motivational speaker, so the ability to get access to like my knowledge base is just out on my website, saleswarriorinspire.com. I have a 3-day boot camp, 30 hours,
There you go.
$29. Daddy of a deal.
Link is right in the comments, y'all. Sign up, go say hi, learn with John. All right, John. Oh, yeah, John is the whole package. You're right, Ten. You're right. John, let's hear this. If I wanted to improve my intellectual health with creativity, what simple tip would you give me?
Absolutely, Austin. Winners play songs.
Winners play songs. All right. You're going to have to explain that a little bit.
Well, that's the idea. So the idea is to remember this. And in the W for winners is you got to sit down and figure out what jazzes you and write down your goals. Ooh. So winners write down goals. The next thing is in your mind's eye, you have to play out exactly what it's going to be like when you meet your goals and what it's going to feel like, what it's going to smell like. You got to actually be able to live it like you're in a movie. Like I'm wanting to get this car. You got to feel yourself in that car, driving that car. So you got to play it out in your mind. And then sing songs is you got to say it. Like a lot of times people think that that's affirmations. And certainly you can say, look in the mirror and say, I have this brand new red car. I have this brand new red car. Or you could start telling all your friends, hey, I'm going to be getting this red car. It is really cool. It's got black leather in it. It's got a, cloth top to it. You got to like really get into your goals. Like most people talk about just setting goals. Setting goals is just the beginning of the process. And then you got to take action.
Take action. Perfect. Okay, John, let's go over this a little more. Do you do SMART goals?
Absolutely.
Okay. And do you listen to music when you write your goals down?
I'm a huge music fan. So not necessarily, but the reason why I say winners sing songs is because people will remember that. If I say write down your goals, play them out in your mind, and then tell everybody the goals that you're trying to achieve, people aren't going to remember that, but they will remember winners play songs, and that's what you got to do. You got to play it out in your mind, and you got to say it or sing it out into the universe. And the law of attraction will work in your behalf.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, tell us where on your life journey did you learn this piece of information?
In my early 20s. Like I was broke as a joke, unemployed. Now I'm financially independent. I got out a piece of paper and I just started brainstorming what I wanted out of life. And I put it down to like very succinct things. Like one of them was at the time I was a single guy, wasn't married. And I had both that I wanted to be married. And then two, I wanted to be in a co-ed sand volleyball team. So you got to be like detailed with your goals. I wanted to play sand volleyball, but I wanted to play it with girls.
Well, and volleyball girls are definitely better than dudes. That's for sure.
Well, there's some girls that can tear it up, but I'm 6'2", so get me under the net and I'm pretty dangerous.
All right. Awesome, John. Well, I think it's time to bring everyone else out. Let's do some round robin. Here we go. Hey, what's up, Jesse? Can you quickly refresh what your tip was, Jesse?
Pull the stick out of your butt. Simple as that. If you're too uptight to be creative, then you're never going to be creative. Simple as that.
Christina, what are your thoughts?
About Jesse's tip?
I think stick in the ass tip.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really great tip, like that we can't, it's the expectation, I think, that ruins everything, whether that's an expectation that we assume other people have on what we're doing or our own expectation. I think it's a great way. I think that people should go get hypnotized by Jesse so that they can, he should have art classes or something. He could get that stick out of their butt and then have them do it all creative things.
All right, laugh it out. We have a viewer that wants us to laugh it out. That's a great tip. It's hilarious, which is awesome. John, what are your thoughts on Jesse's tip?
I love it, man. Because I think the biggest thing that keeps people from achieving their goals is worrying what others think. And he's just using it as a word picture, calling it a stick in your butt. It's a stick in your butt. It's a you know it's a bridge you won't go over. It's a wall you won't climb. It's basically an obstacle, and and you can't let what other people think or the fear of failing keep you from achieving, because you'll never achieve.
That great line there. Great line there. You want to repeat that again, just so we can make sure we know about it?
I didn't write it down.
I guess we'll go back and reread.
Stick in your butt. I mean, it's just an obstacle. It is like a wall in front of you that you need to climb over. It's a bridge that you need to cross over. It's a fear staring you in the face that you need to overcome. I mean, so many times people use the terms like imposter syndrome and this and that, and these are just excuses for not facing your fears. And the worst thing you can do is give yourself a prescription for failure. And telling somebody that I have imposter syndrome is a prescription for failure. I personally don't believe in it. I think it's a cop-out. I'll admit there are things I'm fearful of, but I fight through my fears and I overcome. And that's how you become a stronger, better person. It's not from coming up with I have allergies, so I can't go outside.
Oh, that actually reminds me. I'm not going to get into that. That's irrelevant, but funny, the allergy excuse. Christina, can you quickly refresh what your tip was for us?
Yeah, start without expectation. So stop deciding what it has to look like. I don't think creativity is necessarily that. Creativity is like, I'm going to start and let's be curious about where it takes me. And that I think is very important. So we can let go. Because when I first started arting, I was like, oh, I need to go find the lessons of how to do these strokes. And I need to find what everybody else. And you know what? That was not fun at all. I like to finger paint. I like to make a mess and chaos and all that. And I couldn't do that if there was like going to be a complete plan to the art.
It's almost like creativity creates itself.
Yeah.
John, what are your thoughts on Christina's tip?
I love her tip. I've heard it said expectation is the thief of joy. And I believe it.
Expectation is the thief of joy.
Thief of joy, because like if you go into a party and you already have preconceived what the party is going to be like, and you immediately get there and they don't even have the beer that you want, you're already going through a bad time. So like if you have zero expectation and you get there and they're like, oh, they have beer, I'm in, so it's like you can't let these little things steal your joy. And expectation is just little things that we're preconceiving should be in existence. And when they're not in existence, then it doesn't align with what we think it should be. And when it doesn't align, then we're unhappy. So we've already created a methodology for failure.
That's very true. Jesse, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I see this all the time. When I perform my shows, I have a set layout. But with Christina's tip, it is just don't expect anything. When I'm performing, I see it happen all the time. I'll give a suggestion that I would react to completely differently, but other people do other weird shit. And it's fantastic because it's something I didn't expect. And therefore, it's funny to me, which is wonderful. Since I've done my show 1,000 times, I get to see something that I find funny, not just everybody else, which is kind of nice.
I like it. All right, John, can you quickly refresh us what your tip was?
Mine is just, it's a process of success. So think about your GPS. If you don't tell your GPS where to go, there's nowhere to get to. And people that are unhappy, they don't have a goal. And the reason they don't have a goal is because they haven't sat down with a piece of paper and figured out what they want out of life. So that's the first step. So winners sing songs. So the first step, win, is write. You want to write down your goals, flesh out, put down everything you can possibly think of. Like, what do you want out of life? Be super, super specific. So that's the first part of it. And then you want to play it out in your mind. You want to really picture yourself enjoying that success. And then lastly, you want to talk about it. Talk about it to yourself and talk about it to others that you trust. And that's important to mention. Don't go sharing your dreams with people that are going to knock you down, but share your dreams with somebody that are going to, back you up and say, oh yeah, you can do that. And sometimes that might just be you. Like, you got to be your own best friend. Like, you got to tell yourself, yeah, man, I can do that. And so that's mine. Winners sing songs.
Christina, what are your thoughts on that?
I am torn on this one because I mean everything he's saying is absolutely true, and it's like a process that I actually take my clients through is to figure out their intentions, is the focus that we create from that whole like how will you feel when you hit that goal. However, when it comes to creativity, it's like my one space where I take goals off the table, because if I have a goal, it's almost like I'm setting myself up for expectation, and this is just me personally, because I I am the type of person where when I picture a goal, if it comes up with a red bow instead of a blue bow, I'll be pissed off instead of curious. And so I need to allow my creativity be a little bit more flowing than that. But absolutely, for goals, I think what he's saying is absolutely right. I just don't have a goal of being an artist. I have a goal of being creative, I guess. So I'm letting it seep in and being like, it's probably actually part of my process. I probably just see it a little bit differently. That's all.
Jesse, thoughts?
So I'm going to go back to hypnosis, and it
Makes
directly has to talk with John. So the first person you hypnotize is yourself for anything, whether it's creativity, business, anything else like that. And all hypnosis is taking a suggestion. That's all it really is. So with that in mind, with what John said, absolutely. Everything is correct that he says. The second thing that he talks about is taking action and having the song and singing it out to people. And that is also part of the creativity. It's taking the action towards actually achieving that goal. So I fully understand. It makes perfect sense. Action takers are money makers, and that is what you're trying to get across, I think. Is if you don't take action on your creativity, you're not going to actually achieve anything.
That's absolutely true. Take action, set your goals, sing your song, reduce your expectations, and take a stick out of your ass. We got some awesome.
If you want to shove one there, go ahead.
Yeah, switch it out, maybe. So I don't know. We're not getting into that. Sex was last week. Anyways, guys, all right, we got our favorite part of the day. We got to come up with our daily challenge. So it's got to take less than 5 minutes, cost $0, and be available to everyone from Tuvalu to Kathmandu. What are your thoughts to improve your intellectual health with creativity?
I mean, just do it, right? I mean, whatever it is, it's accessible, right? Like, you may want to be an artist and you don't have paints, but that doesn't mean that you can't pick up a pencil and start sketching. It doesn't mean that you can't find other items that could be substitutes, right? Like, anybody can sing a song to themselves completely free. Anybody can write down some words on a piece of paper and call themselves a poet, right? So I think it's just practicing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts?
I think.
I have a challenge I'd like to propose.
Okay.
I would like people to dress in a funny way
Ooh.
and go grocery shopping.
Oh.
In a way they find creative and go grocery shopping. Not necessarily funny, but creative to them. And then see if anybody actually reacts. Because chances are nobody's going to care. And this would destroy the thought of other people caring about your own personal creativity.
I like that. That's hard to do every day if I don't have to shop every day, but we can work with that.
Okay.
John, any thoughts?
You got to get
Yeah,
you got to get dressed.
Hey, I want to mention too, like my creative process aligns with Paul McCartney. So when Paul McCartney writes music, he'll start at 8 a.m. in the morning, he'll work till noon, and he'll just write song after song after song after song. Most of them will hit the trash, and he'll come up with the next big hit. So, but anyway, so 3 things. I would have people take out a piece of paper and write down 3 things they want to create and organize them. So one thing they might create is a letter to a loved one. Something else they might create is come up with an idea for a book. Something else they might create is make a new friend. And then right next to those 3 things that they want to create, I would have them put, why do I want to create this? And what will it do for me? Like, what emotion will I feel once I've created that? So 3 things with 3 things.
Okay. I'm trying to see how we can get Jesse's in there, but some people.
So
go ahead, Jesse.
So Dom, you mentioned that shopping's not free. If you were going to incorporate, you don't have to go shopping. Just wear something creative for the day instead, because we all have to get dressed in the morning. Most of us.
What if we did something like this, Jesse? Instead of having to go out or something, or go to a shopping, what if you do something creative with your appearance, and then you take a picture and post it on social media?
That'd be perfect.
So you can wear a funny outfit, a funny hat, shave your beard weird, do something creatively unique and different that's out of your routine. It's kind of how we'll define creative, outside your normal routine. And I mean, take a picture, put on social. I would also say that doesn't take 5 minutes. So I'd say we also write down, maybe on the post, something that you want to create and why you want to create it. How do you guys feel about that one?
Yeah.
Anything you want to add, Christina, to make it even more crazy?
No, I think that incorporates it all. When I say just start, it doesn't mean it has to be art. It could be whatever keeps you creative and thinking outside the box, which is, I think, what all of that does. And then I love the step of thinking a little deeper about it and being like, well, why do I want what I want?
Yeah, this is okay. That's cool. I love that.
And this is kind of the process I went through. Like when I came up with my podcast, I just said, hey, I want to start a podcast because Brendan Bouchard told me I needed to do a podcast, but I had no idea like what to do a podcast on. Like that was the first part, was I should do a podcast. And then it goes through the gut check of, well, what's it going to be about? I don't know.
Do you need guests on your podcast?
With my dogs and just sat there, and then my mind worked on it and worked on it and worked on it, and like checks and balances. Do I do this? Do I do that? Would that work? Would that? And I don't know. It's a process. It's creativity, man. Like,
do you need guests on your podcast? Because now would be a great time to shout that out.
Me? Any unique guests? So one of my guests was on tour with Kiss back in the day. Knew Ozzy Osbourne. Knows like all the guys from Motley Crue. He was a great guest. His name's Pete Walker. He was the original promoter for Pantera in Texas. My more recent guest went to high school with, the movie that's in the movie theater right now called The Iron Claw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my upcoming guest went to high school with Chris Von Erich.
Very cool.
Who's pictured in The Iron Claw.
Well, that's awesome. Cool. Good for you. Get creative and you meet awesome guests, just like I am right now.
No, man, I was in a bar and I met this guy. Like, I kid you not. Like, it was not like... We just started talking, and next thing I know, he went to school with the Von Erichs. I'm like, where are you from? And he told me, and I'm like, wow, isn't that where the Von Erichs went to high school with? He's like, I went to school with Chris Von Erich. And I'm like, I got to get that guy on my podcast. Like, I didn't even tell him I had a podcast yet, but I'm like, that's the guy.
That's awesome. Awesome, guys. All right. Well, we are going to wrap this up. We finished our daily challenge, and you guys have given great tips. Thank you so much. Everyone say bye and love you. Go follow all of our guests, please. Like and subscribe them. Go check out John's podcast. Go see what Christina's teaching, coaching, and fly your ass to Canada without a stick in it and watch Jesse do a hypnotist show. Thank you guys so much. Just wanted to, wow, that was a great episode. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it, learned a little bit about creativity and intellectual health. We had some awesome tips today. Take a stick out of your ass is a great one. Lower your expectations with creativity and just fucking go create. And then we can also play the music. Winners play music. Go ahead and write yourself some goals. We have a sweet daily challenge. So every day you're going to have to do something weird with your appearance. Not weird, creative, out of your normal routine in order to take a picture, put on social media, let people see your creativity, as well as post something you want to create, whether it's music, art, reading, anything of that sort. And why. We got to know the why. And again, if you guys want to be a guest, we are always looking for guests. We are looking for anyone, anywhere, topics. We love topics. Please tell us how and what you want to learn, and we'll take care of that. And again, if you missed us in the beginning, this is Millionaires Are Made, where we believe you can grow to be a millionaire in all 6 aspects of health. That's your physical, mental, intellectual, social, spiritual, and financial. This episode was on our intellectual health and creativity. And thank you all for watching. We're about to sign out. Thanks for watching Millionaires Are Made, the show where we believe everyone you meet knows something you don't, and there's something to be learned from everyone. Hope you all have the best day of your life. Until tomorrow.